Alright, I just ran some updates here for Linux Mint. I'm just double checking the stream here, so welcome aboard and give me a moment, okay? No wine tonight, I have to buy some more. This is Big K Kroger, Big K Lemon Lime Soda. It's good. Alright, we're in the green, so the stream looks good. My plans changed for this evening. I have some free time. So this will be just a random chat here on the channel. If you are new to all this, welcome. This is what I call technology entertainment, or techtainment. An example would be something like I'm watching Ancient Aliens here on my TV, and I think the aliens went extinct because they were using Arch Linux and it blew up their computer systems it blew up their planet. Just silly random jokes like that. Do you know what happened to Luke Skywalker when he ate the toad? He got Star Wars. Okay. So, a random chat for this evening. This was not scheduled. I don't know when to schedule these things anymore. So we'll see if anybody drops in the chat. In fact, let me refresh it here. And, alright. I used to schedule these regularly. Then the pandemic hit. Then I did these at random. Now the pandemic's over. Started again. A few people were showing up. So, people getting back to normal life and all that. Totally get it. So, we'll try this for tonight. It is 8:31 p.m. Ohio time in the land of Dean Martin. Everybody loves some Linux sometime. The background music, again, provided by my talented dad from Italia. So thanks, Dad. So right now there is nobody in the chat, but I'll keep going back to it. So just some random thoughts here for this evening. And if nobody pops in the chat, then we'll end it. But that's okay. I will not take it personal. You still respect the family, don't you? Okay. Stream looks good. So a couple things on my mind for tonight. I bought a new... my birthday's coming up here in about a week, so happy birthday to me. Bought a new used ThinkPad, ThinkPad T480. These were built between 2018 and 2021. Bought it used for about $200 total, and something that can handle 4K video. And I'm quite happy with ThinkPads. If you don't know this by now, ThinkPads work great with Linux. They work great with Windows 11 for that matter. So the one I bought was Windows 11 ready to go. I thought about installing Linux Mint or Chrome OS, but I really did not need to test Linux Mint or Chrome OS again after many previous tests on different machines, 32-bit and 64-bit. It was unnecessary. I know it's going to work, but I was curious to see how it would handle Windows 11. And that ThinkPad, with just 8 gigs of RAM, works wonderfully with Windows 11. Now, I'm not going to do any gaming or heavy video editing. It wasn't made for that. But ThinkPads work fantastic with Linux Mint, Chrome OS, and so far in my brief test, Windows 11 on the machine that's approximately 5 years old with 8 gigs of RAM. Again, if you want to do heavy video editing or gaming, go with the 16 gigs of RAM or more. But I'm quite happy with my new birthday toy to myself, so happy birthday to me. Hair is dry today. I've been drinking more. non-alcoholic beverages for today. Just a soda beverage. Okay, what else is on my mind? Halo. The TV series Halo. The season ender is next week, next Thursday. This season's better than the last season, 2022. Much more intense, much more focused. Halo does definitely deserve a season 3 for a couple of reasons. I felt more in tune to the characters. I felt for the characters more. Some characters met their demise, surprisingly, which got my attention. Not sure if I agree with that, but it got my attention. And that's the mark of a good show. Can it keep your interest? Can it keep your attention? Does it take risks? Not just Halo, but any TV show. Does it try something different? And for this year, it has succeeded. A lot of the videos, now, some people love Halo, some hate it. Totally get it. Me and my son, we like the Halo TV series. A lot of videos I've been seeing for the haters out there who think Halo TV is stupid, they've had enough. I've been hearing this since 2022. But the same people who say that Halo sucks, they keep watching it. This is the last time I'll watch Halo. And then next week, I'm not going to watch it again. Then the next week, this is really stupid. I'm not going to. Then they watch it again. Well, if it's that bad, then why do you keep watching it? I'm just saying. So evidently, it's good enough to keep your interest, just enough for you to complain about a show that's really much better than you think. And I think the show, like I said, this season has hit the mark in terms of keeping the interest of viewers like myself. Admittedly, I don't play the games anymore. Halo 4 was probably the last good game. Halo 5 Guardians I thought was stupid. Didn't bother with Halo 6 Infinite, although I heard it was better, but I didn't bother. The games are not the same without the music composer Martin O'Donnell. The TV series, even though I like it this year, is not the same with the Halo composer Marty O'Donnell, and his fans call him Marty's Army. And by the way, he's running for office in the state of Nevada. Marty, good luck to you. Wish you all the best. If you ever want to chat on my podcast here on my show and talk about your life and how Halo came to be, you are more than welcome. If you haven't already, check out the Halo soundtracks. That would be Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, not Halo 4, ODST and Halo Reach. Those are Martin O'Donnell's original compositions. They are all A+ soundtracks, culminating with Halo Reach. All right, give me a sec. Somebody popped in the chat. We are broadcasting you live in the local Bogota, Angelina. And where's that at, Sean Shawns? Hello, Sean. How are you? Bottega Angelina. Bottega Angelina. Sounds like a girl I used to date. No, I'm just kidding. Where exactly are you, if I may ask? And good evening. All right. What else should I talk about? I mentioned this before, but the biggest disappointment in terms of Linux was the announcement that Ubuntu will not be releasing an immutable OS next month, an immutable version of Ubuntu. I was very curious to see how it would hold up to the king of the immutables, that of course being the Chromebooks and Chrome OS. Those machines are about as perfect as Linux can be, if there is such a thing, because they are maintenance free and no bugs. And I was hoping the latest Ubuntu would be able to maybe compete with that with an immutable system. It's still a work in progress. Disappointing, but I totally understand. They want to get it right the first time, as well they should. So for me this year, in terms of the geeky stuff, no immutable Ubuntu OS is the greatest disappointment for me. Excuse me for one moment. All right, so that's where I am today as far as Linux and Ubuntu. I still enjoy using. I'm going to turn on my new sticker feed, by the way. You can't see it, but I can. Mozilla drops axe on its privacy-friendly location service. Proton Mail's new desktop app is available for Linux. Proton Mail is good if you like privacy. VLC Media, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling. VLC Media Player hits 5 billion downloads. It should be the default player for all Linux and for Windows systems, in my opinion. Okay. Sean's, you like haiku. Really? Why haiku? I'm just curious. I believe that's a lightweight system, right? Okay. Okay, so where was I at? Okay, so Halo TV, love it this year. Disappointment, Ubuntu no Immutable OS this year. I like my ThinkPad T480. Happy birthday to myself. I see Yogi just popped in. As far as any other exciting tech news, nothing out there has really gotten my attention yet. I'm not into smartwatches or the Google. I don't know what they have now. Do the Google glasses even exist anymore? I know they got the visor and the virtual lenses or glasses and all that stuff, but that stuff does not appeal to me. I guess the big thing now in technology is AI, for what it's worth. But that stuff I'm not quite into yet. I think part of it because it's kind of scary to see how far AI can take us. Will it take us into the future or take us into oblivion, as it were? And I'm not talking about the movie Oblivion starring Tom Cruise. So that's where I feel my thoughts are on AI. Let me refresh the chat here real quick. All right. If there is anybody new watching that wants to say hello or has a question, Linux, Windows, or Mac, I'll try to answer something about Mac. I don't have a Mac. My friend did, but it was outdated back in 2020. So I installed Linux Mint on that Mac and got it to work. I raised it from the dead, as it were. I got it to work. It's from 2012, I think. 2011. I lost track. I think it expired before 2020. Probably 2017 or 18. But I got it to work. Linux saved the MacBook from extinction. Okay. So Yugi, what's new with you? Go back to my ticker feed here and see what else passes by on the ticker news reader here on my screen. Sean says you would love a new M2 MacBook Air 15-inch. I've heard good news about them. Not on my priority list right now. Maybe one day I'll buy a Mac, but just not into it right now. You wish macOS had the same terminal commands as Linux. What are the terminal commands for macOS? I've never had to use it. So you could update from the terminal. Okay. Well, if you are a new user, you don't have to use the terminal to do anything. It's not hard to learn, so don't be scared of looking at the terminal. I often joke that my favorite terminal is the Orlando International Airport. Haha. But don't be scared of the terminal. With systems like, well, Chrome OS, Zorn OS, Linux Mint, you don't have to use the terminal anymore. All right, so Yugi, you are enjoying Linux Mint, Chromebooks, and making contact. Okay. Sean says you love it. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about the MacBooks. I think they start at $1,000, right? Oh, Sean, you bought a Lexus. Really? Which one? I was driving my son's car the other day, his Lexus. It just passed 218,000 miles, and it still burns rubber. The AC went out. I'm hoping it's not anything serious. I have to get it checked. But we'll see. But you bought a Lexus, cool. Those cars just go and go and go. It's like the Energizer Bunny, you know. But cool, awesome. All right, checking my messages here. Yes, I did. Did somebody send me a donation on PayPal? No, I made a payment. Okay. All right. By the way, thank you for all of your donations to Patreon and PayPal to keep this going. It's not cheap, as you well know. Comcast raised the bill again, but I decided to keep it because I enjoy doing this and chatting with you guys. So figure for tonight I had no plans. I'm paying for this. I might as well use the internet. Sean, you bought a Lexus NX Hybrid. Hybrid 2022. Yeah, those are pretty good on gas in the city, I think, correct? Very nice. The NX, I believe, is that smaller than the RX? I think. Anyway. Hi, Tim. Tim, salute. I have no wine tonight. I finished my lemon lime, but salute, my friend. How are you? Awesome, Sean, that you bought the Lexus. Yeah, those are excellent cars. Without a doubt. Speaking of car, I've never seen, here I live in Ohio, I don't think I've ever seen a Lexus or a Toyota breaking down ever, except my son's car. One day his car wouldn't start. It wasn't the battery. His remote thing, after so many years, they just broke, so it wouldn't read the chip in the key fob. So I had to get it towed, but it wasn't the car. I found out how to get 2 new key fobs. But that, besides my son's car, if he would take more care of his key fobs, I've never seen a Toyota or a Lexus break down, ever. Have you? Anyway. Thank you, Tim. Yes, I'll it's time for some more Color Rossi wine. Thank you so much, my dear friend. Nissan, Toyota, Lexus. I would probably pick Honda before Nissan, Sean, but I would say Nissan is good. I see a lot of those around here. Yeah. American made, suck, did see a Cybertruck. If I had to buy American, maybe Buick, maybe. But given a choice between a used Buick or a used Lexus, gotta go with the Lexus. Let's say I was looking for used, I don't know, 10,000, just out of the blue. Between the Buick and the Lexus, you gotta go with the Lexus. It's just, they just last longer, less headaches. Again, my opinion. But a Buick I could probably live with. They are nice cars. And I don't recall seeing a Buick broken down lately. Yeah. Anyway. Well, congrats on the Lexus. I hope it brings you many years of joy, my friend. I may have to get another can of soda. In fact, I am going to grab another can real quick. It's in my garage right here through the door, so don't go away, and I'll be right back, okay? Don't go away. I love lemon lime soda. You pour that, not pour it, but like a little bit of that in red wine or 7 Up, and 7 Up and lemon lime soda as a mixed drink is excellent. Not a lot of alcohol, so you can drink, well, maybe not the whole bottle, but try it. Red wine and 7 Up is a good mixed drink. Okay. You tried free B. I think I tried free BSD once years ago, Sean. Did not like it. Was not for me. Thank you, Tim. I will reload the Carlo Rossi tomorrow. Thank you so much, my dear friend. Tim is a longtime supporter of this family channel. This is the family. This is the family here. Respect. Thank you so much, Tim. Joey's in the house. Hey, Joey. Cheers. Ba ba boo. Popping in, waiting for wife to come get home with dinner. Oh, what is she cooking? I actually brought some dinner to my ex-wife and my son. She's been sick all week. Thankfully, it's not COVID, but I felt bad. So I texted my son, look, I'm going to bring you guys dinner. It's on me tonight. Dropped it off, and she wanted pasta with chicken Alfredo sauce from a local family Italian restaurant. So I hope I made her night. Something, doing the right thing. That's how I see it. Do the right thing. God knows there's enough hatred in the world today. So anyway. Hi, Joe. How are you? We were talking cars, Sean. Actually, I had a Buick that I traded in back in 2022. The rust was starting to get to it. There's a friend of mine who owns a mom and pop family dealership downtown. I was hoping he would have had like another Lexus or a Toyota or something. At the time, he didn't have any. But I had to do something with mine. So he had, you guys remember Saturn, GM Saturns, probably the highest quality cars they ever built. He had one of the last ones GM built, the Saturn Outlook. Huge car. I can fit 7 cheerleaders in there. Anyway, that's all he had, so I bought it, and so far so good. The most expensive thing was the alternator. That's it. Culver, I guess that's right. Culver's is the chef tonight, is at the restaurant. Speak of the devil, she just walked in. Well, say hello to your dear wife, Joe. Greetings. Tell her greetings from the Martin country. So, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I bought a Saturn Outlook. It's not what I wanted, but it was clean, maintained. My friend's got one of those $4,000 car scanners that you can hook up to the port as you're driving the car, and it gives out all the readouts. And he says, everything looked good. And I believed him. So I bought the car. Wasn't looking for something that old, 12 years old, but I saw very little rust. Everything worked. Took a chance. He took my car gladly, even with the rust. He had to fix something else on it, but traded in my car, paid cash, and my car is still running after a new alternator, maintenance, alternator, tires, battery, nothing major. So, yeah. Tim, yeah, taking care of family and family stuff. Yep, me too, my friend. Joe says, "Time to eat. Hopefully, I'll still be on when I'm done. I have no plans, so yeah. Please give him my regards, of course. Yeah, I might still be on. If it's not too late. Sounds good. And Joe, enjoy your dinner, because it's what you're an hour behind me, right? I think where you're at. I'm here in Ohio, so okay. Enjoy your dinner. Cheers." Just looking at the ticker news reader, see if anything else catches my eye here at the top. All right, nothing there on this go around. Okay. Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much. I will probably refill the wine tomorrow. Kroger's is within walking distance. I don't even have to drive to Kroger's to get my stuff. I can walk to Kroger's. I'll drive. I don't want to carry a gallon of wine walking half a mile. I'm afraid I'll drop it. Yeah. Anyway. KD Plasma 62602 update delivers more. Yeah, I saw some videos on the latest KD Plasma. Looks good, actually. I'm not a plasma person myself. Still like the Mate desktop. XFCE is good, and of course I like Chrome OS. Yeah. Again, thanks again, Tim. TikTok ban gains steam. I'm not sure what that's all about. Okay. Alright, sorry for that delay there. Just getting more comfortable. One of these days I gotta buy a new chair too. This one has lasted me... You know what? This chair is 10 years old. I have to put a pillow back here, but this chair has lasted me 10 years. That'll be my next investment. Anyway. Alright, let me refresh the chat here. Again, if there's anybody new watching and wants to say hello, has a question, a tech question, I'll be happy to try to answer it, whatever that may be. Yeah, KDE Plasma has always looked pretty slick. I just think it may be too loaded for a Windows user coming to the world of Linux. I think if somebody knows nothing about Linux and is completely new, I think the better off with the Mate desktop, XFCE, Chromebooks, there's only one desktop environment. That's it. It's not loaded. And that's not necessarily a bad thing for someone coming to the world of Linux, Yuki. But I think Plasma might be too much, for a brand new Linux user. At least from when I played with it. It looks great. I'll give it that. But it may be too much for a brand new Linux user. I still think Mate is the best balance of looks, because you can customize it, and functionality. Of course, with Mate, you don't need GNOME extensions that can always break. Easy to use, fast. Of course, the original Ubuntu had the, not Mate, but the GNOME 2 look which Mate copied. So, yeah, Plasma is slick, but I don't think it's for Windows users if they are brand new. Yeah, XFCE. I also like XFCE on MX Tim. I installed XFCE on my 32-bit ThinkPads. They are way outdated. The one had Windows 7 on its Celeron processor. I don't do much stream music, stuff like maybe check an email. Don't do much with those. Sometimes I'll bring those outside in the garage outside and stream music. Bluetooth speaker works okay. But MX, I think, is a nice balance of lightweight and functionality and looks and all that. But MX is pretty solid based off of Debian. All right, I'm going to turn off the ticker feed because I think I've seen all that I needed to see. So after Joe eats his dinner, we'll see what's up with him, if it's not too late. Fluxbox on Antix, that should be super fast, Tim. I may have tested Fluxbox once way back, and that was pure speed. I don't think it's for beginners, if I recall, but Antix I've tested on its own and it's fast. So if you want speed, yeah, go with that. Fluxbox is cool, yeah. But my eyes are dry too. It's been a long. I should take my contacts out here soon. Anyway, but totally love it. Okay, use what works. The best operating system is the one that works for you. Speaking of operating systems, was it a couple weeks ago? The here in the U.S., the healthcare grid computers got hit with ransomware. I guess created a mess in certain states. It's 2024. Number one, why is this happening on such a wide scale? Number two, where are the backups? And number three, if they would use a Chromebook, it is virtually impossible to get hit. There are multiple layers of security in a Chromebook. If you do happen to get hit, which is almost impossible, and you don't know that you're hit, and you reboot, the computer will tell you, hey, something funny is going on, you need to do a power wash, wipe out the system. I've asked you out there who have Chromebooks, if you've been hit with ransomware, let me know. I've been asking now for at least a year, maybe more. No reply. There are companies who have switched to Chromebooks for their businesses because they got fed up with malware and ransomware. It is virtually, not 100%, impossible to get hit with malware, ransomware on the Chromebook by way of their design, which is one reason why I recommend Chromebooks to a new Linux user who wanted to try something new but doesn't want to install anything. Multiple layers of security. I think there's 4 or 5 layers. And it would be tough to break through all those layers. Nothing is impossible. But I have not seen it yet. So, there you go. If you're starting a new business, what should you buy? Windows, Mac, or Chromebook? Just get the Chromebook. Trust me. All right. Yuki likes the open box window manager. Maybox, Manjaro, Fork has a beautiful... Okay, all right. Not into those myself, but okay. When I started this stream, I cracked a joke. I'm watching Ancient Aliens. I think the Ancient Aliens became extinct years ago because they were using Arch Linux and it screwed up their systems and it blew up their planet. Ba-da-bum-bum. Psh. Yeah, I have Linux Mint Mate here. My TV computer, I have Linux Mint XFCE and Windows 11. And they both work fine. Let me check the weather forecast here real quick. So 55 today. Where's my weather app here? Oh, that's right. I reset the panel. I got to add it. Give me a second here. Let's add the weather report to the Mate desktop. Let's do the location. We'll do Pittsburgh International Airport. And let's see what the weather forecast is. Tonight, cloudy showers, 40s. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 40s. It's cold. Tomorrow night, lows in the upper 20s. Ugh. I thought we were over with that. It was like 75 Thursday. Still winter. Monday, some snow. Oh, goody. Okay. This year, June, will mark 6 years since you switched to Linux full time. Awesome. Tim says, Arch is above my pay scale. Mine too, my friend. Tried it once, it's not for me. Great to tinker with if you like to do that, but my tinkering patience only goes so far. And being Italian, that's a toughie. Being a New Yorker Italian, the fact that I have any patience is a miracle. See what I'm saying? All right. Let me do my panel here again. I don't need 2 weather temperatures on here. We'll just go with the 1. All right, that's better. Okay. Arch Linux, for those who have an unlimited supply of Tylenol, use Arch and watch the Tylenol stock go up. Yeah, with you on that about patience, Tim. Yeah, I mean, I always like to give things a chance. That's why I tried Arch, Manjaro-based Arch and stuff like that. But anyway, my patience only goes so far. Rossi Spiller. Any relation to color Rossi wine? Rossi Spiller, hello, good people. In Linux Mint, is there a way to configure grouped apps on separate virtual desktops at startup? Wow, I've never done that. I don't know. A separate virtual desktop. That, I don't know, my friend, and welcome to the live show. I've never done that. Yeah, I don't know. There probably is, but I don't know. That is a question I cannot answer. I'm sorry. But welcome to the live stream for this Saturday night. You probably have to do something in the startup configuration. Yeah, I've never done it, Razi. So, at this point, I won't even speculate. I don't want to give you the wrong information. So, Tim says, stick with your 3 distros, MX, and Tix, and Ubuntu. Very good. You got fast, faster, and slower. Ubuntu. We'll compare it to Antix, yeah. Giuseppe DiGiacomo's in the house to make an attempt at creating MX Linux Budgie respin. Ooh. That's going to take a lot of baking, Joseph, for that menu. Very good. MX Linux Budgie. Okay. All right. Why not? That's what Linux is all about. Make it uniquely your own. Right? Why not? Okay. Rossi, is Linux Mint your favorite, or have you tried other ones? And have you tried a Chromebook by chance? I have 2 of them. I'm just looking at my startup programs, and I don't have a lot going on. I disabled Blue Man, Mint Welcome. I don't need. Yeah, I don't have much going on in my startup apps. Started with Ubuntu 2014, and it's special in your heart. Okay, that's how you started Linux. Yeah, my first date with Linux was in 2006 with Ubuntu. So I totally understand, Tim. Yeah, when they dropped Unity in 2016, 17, that was probably the beginning of the end of Ubuntu for me, sadly. That's why I'm waiting for the immutable version of Ubuntu. Maybe 6 months from now to see what that's all about. System 76, Pop! OS, they're making their own desktop environment. That should be interesting. I'm curious about that one. I guess they don't like the GNOME desktop either. So yeah. If you install Budgie on MX Linux and remove except you're left with no terminal or file manager. Oops. Yeah, that could probably be a problem. Oh, Rossi, thank you. Yes, you did talk about FidoOS. Thank you. With Android capability. Got it. In fact, give me a second here. I'm going to bookmark that. That is one funky looking website, FidoOS. Lightning fast. Okay, fair enough. I'll take a look at it, Rossi. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Tim. Unity was awesome in 16.04. Yeah, I had that installed in 2 machines. That's how much I liked it. Just when I felt comfortable, they got rid of it. So Tilix GTK3 terminal. Okay. Yeah, I miss Unity. That was the last really great Ubuntu. Just rock solid, nothing fancy, no GNOME extensions, nothing to break. It just worked. That's what I miss. So yeah, don't use it anymore. Okay to test, I guess, but that's as far as I go. I'll stick with my Linux Mints and my Chromebooks. Just keeping it simple. I love the KISS method. Gene Simmons, KISS. Keep it simple. Stupid. Anyway. I'm assuming FidoOS is does FidoOS needs 4 gigs of RAM like Chrome OS Flex? Rossi, do you know? Like I said, I haven't quite looked into it yet, but I was just curious if it needs 4 gigs of RAM to get started. Tim, yeah, GNOME is, with the proper extensions, is not bad in Pop! OS. I totally agree. Those guys and Zorn OS do GNOME quite well out of the box. There's nothing else to really install, nothing to break. So yeah, Pop! OS is okay with GNOME. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite desktop environment in general. But Pop! OS and Zorn is okay. I think Zorn OS also makes an XFCE version lightweight for outdated machines. But Pop! OS is okay. See, here in my Linux Mint, I've deleted some apps I don't need, like the Redshift, I think was one app. I think something else I didn't need. I can't think of it now, but yeah, I think it was called Redshift. Warpinator, never going to use that. Oh, okay. FidoOS only requires 2 gigs of RAM. Cool. Very good. Yeah, I don't think Zorn has ever messed with the Plasma desktop since their inception back in 2010, I think. I'd have to think, but I don't think they've ever messed with the Plasma desktop in their systems ever. As far as I recall, Joseph, yeah. I think they do GNOME and XFCE. Yeah. I think they do like an educational version too for kids, but yeah, no Plasma for them. Just listening to my dad's music. Very peaceful. Makes me relax. Yeah. All we need is to do is rip off all of Mac OS and Windows best features every year. Yeah. Yeah, as I stated before, I've been pretty happy with Windows 11, Rossi. It just works. Pleasantly surprised. No problems, nothing to fix, or no blue screens or anything unusual. So Windows 11, able to install it on a machine that had Windows 7 actually. That surprised me a lot, and I think it ran okay. So the latest, for anybody who cares, the latest episode of Ancient Aliens is Mystery of the Stone Spheres. I have no idea what they are, but that's what it says. Tuxedo OS is like Zorn OS for Plasma, but has bugs. I've heard of Tuxedo OS. I don't think I've tried it. I know, the Windows is sacrilege to me, and yes, I know. Back, Windows, back, demon. Like in Halo, the demon is here. Windows, the demon, back. Those days of playing Halo some of the dialogue was pretty funny. You would shoot the bad guys, the aliens, and you would hear, "I'm seeing double," because of all the explosions. Anyway, the good memories of playing Halo. Well, Windows make me sacrilege, but it doesn't change the fact that it works, right? Rossi, you're in the market for a Chromebook. Look into any Chromebook Plus. They're brand new. Yeah. Any Chromebook Plus will have the higher specs. I think some of those have AMOLED screens, and I think, yeah, in fact, I know you'll get at least 10 years of support on your Chromebook Plus, at least. And they generally start at about $300 and go up, depending what you're looking for. So if you are in the market for a new one, look into the Chromebook Plus. Absolutely. Yeah, I think they'll start with higher end processors, at least 8 gigs of RAM, which for a Chromebook, 8 gigs of RAM is plenty. Yeah, Tim, Linux for the win. Cannot argue with that, my friend. I wish we had a singer on tonight, like Slim Man or Stephanie, just to liven things up. I'm sorry, guys, I don't sing, but I miss those days. Joey's back, scarfed down dinner, so you didn't miss me. Oh, I love you too, my little princess. Oof. Very good. I'm still here for a little bit longer. Been a long day, but like I said, no plans for this evening, so jumping off for a little bit, Joe. You haven't used Windows 10 or 11 in a very long time. Yeah. Windows 11 is probably the best Windows since Windows 7. Yeah. So Joey's on MX23 KDE. Very good. Yeah, MX Linux is good. I got it on 2 machines. Older ThinkPad. 32-bit. Not too many in 32-bit, it seems nowadays, for Linux. But I was able to get them working. You think Kali Linux fans worship that distro like the Mormons in Salt Lake City? Oh, I'm not going to even go there. It's a cult. The Kali cult. Speaking of RAM, how much RAM am I using? 2.8 gigs in Linux Mint doing all this. Playing music in the background? Not bad. Not bad. Can't complain. Yeah. Rossi says, surprise, you're watching Ancient Aliens. It's a good educational documentary, but you have the Jesse Ventura conspiracy. I remember that show, Jesse Ventura's Conspiracy Theory, like 10 years ago plus. He went hiding into the mountains. Yeah, I actually enjoyed that show. He made you think. Didn't know if I believed everything, but Jesse was definitely fun to watch. Absolutely. He thought about running for president, but he gave it up. His wife was having health issues and family stuff, and Jesse Ventura seems like a down-to-earth guy, someone who would have made a great president, I believe. So, Joe, you had to replace RAM, had a bad module. That happens. You tore apart the PC, rebuilt it. Oh, added thermal paste, faster RAM, a second cooler fan, a new spleen, liver, kidney. Added some calcium, some vitamin E. Okay, Dr. Joe. So I could never do that, man. I would have no patience for that. I've had replaced RAM and drives, but that's as far as I go. Fedora KD, I haven't tested Fedora in a long, long time. So, yeah. Doesn't Fedora have an immutable version too? I think. Replaced your GPU with another 67 XT, RMAing the other one maybe. Okay. Damn small Linux. I guess that did damn small Linux make a comeback after it went away, Yugi? I remember that one years ago. Took you an hour to 40 minutes to do, half hour to 40 to do all the cleaning and above list. Well, that's not bad. I mean, I just have no patience for that. My cleaning of my desktops consists of opening the door, the latch, taking out the panel, grabbing my cordless leaf blower, watching the fan spin for 10 seconds, and that's my cleaning. Hey, it works. I know, you shouldn't put the blower right onto the thing, I know. It just makes me laugh. The dust just goes flying. Anyway. Sometimes I'm just a kid at heart. Hey, watch this. Okay. Solus has made a comeback. I guess have they? I haven't heard from them in a while. It's Yugi's damn small Linux is back, getting a version for updates. Okay. Yeah, do not overspin the fans. I know, Joe. That's why I don't have a Terminator quality fan commercial leaf blower. It's like a battery powered thingy. I got it at of all places. I bought it at Aldi's supermarket, discount supermarket for like $30. So I knew it was not going to damage the. I know. Don't put the blower right on the fan, so the fan just goes vroom, right, and then the RAM goes vroom. I just like blowing all that dust out in one clip. Anyway, yes, I will not overspin the fans. I know. Has anyone seen the promising ARM Surface tablet? I have not. Sounds like when we turned the air cleaners over on our carburetors. Okay. I didn't do that. Did I? I don't think so. Solus 4.5 is out with XFCE. Very good. Now that went vroom sound. Okay, I believe you. I don't think I ever did that. I draw the line at spinning fans, but that's it. Tim says, "Toss Joe can." Oh, Joe can build you an. Yeah, yes, Tim. Joe can build me. I know he's quite talented in that. I know. Maybe one of these days I'll ask him to, but right now I'm okay. For what I do, it's fine. It's fine. Joe, how long have you been building computers, if I may ask? It's been a while, huh? You know, I've never built a computer. I mean, I've done minor repairs, but I've never, ever built a computer. Refresh the chat here. Very good. Okay. Joseph says you built a computer 8 years ago, and that was it? Ah, Joe, you built PCs back in the 90s. Okay. And then started again in 2013. I bought my first computer in 90. It was before 1999. Don't have an exact date. Yeah. Joseph says with a computer 8 years ago. Tim says he built your pink beast. It's absolutely incredible. Very good. Pink beasts are the best. Yeah, I just never had any inclination to or patience to build one from scratch. I know it's not that hard, but just I don't know. I just never got into it. I like to buy them pre-built, ready to go, plug it in, and go. I don't know. Maybe it's just being an Italian thing and not having patience. But yeah, I never really built one. Yeah, changed a few parts here and there. It's about it, but that's as far as I went. By the way, I think I mentioned last January I went to see the new Godzilla movie, Godzilla Minus One, that I thought was very good, and it deserved an Oscar, and it did. It won the best Oscar for best special effects, beating out Guardians of the Galaxy, beating out Mission Impossible. A Godzilla movie. Go figure that. There's a video of someone with the air cleaner turned over. Okay. Maybe I'll take a look at that later. That sounds interesting. Did the car blow up, Joe? Tim says it had to do with breast cancer and you bought it from. Okay. Understandable. Yep. Trying to think of the craziest thing we did with cars when we were young. I don't recall doing that, Joe. Of course, in the snow, we did the stupid tail spins and burning out the tires and the transmissions. But brought back some memories. Yeah, I remember that. You know, of course, the hole in the muffler making it sound more powerful than it was, stuff like that. Had the dice hanging from the mirrors. I remember. Yeah, some memories, absolutely. Rossi had mentioned Ancient Aliens. Yeah, I've been watching it since the beginning. It just got my attention. Makes you think, you know. I don't think all the episodes are good, but yeah, it's one of the few shows I tend to watch. That and there's another one called Expedition X with that, what's his name, Josh, the anthropologist or whatever he is. Yeah, Expedition X. Sketching, hanging off the back bumper in the winter, bumper sling skiing. Yeah, I think we call it bumper skiing here. Joe, yeah, I think. I personally never did it, but I do remember that, yeah. You still have snow in Colorado? My goodness. Well, I guess now it's possible. March 16th, yeah. All right, Yugi. You have a good night. Nice chatting with you too. Till next time. Take care, my friend. Yeah, bumper skiing, snowtailing at night, over revving the engine, then from park to drive, spinning the wheels, stuff like that. You know. 8-track players, then cassettes, then CDs, you know. Vinyl roofs. I remember. Oh, you're in Texas, yeah. Severe thunderstorms. Yeah, we had tornadoes here in Ohio, which surprising with all the hills and valleys. I don't understand that part, but not here where I live, but in Ohio, I guess. Anyway. Let me check something here real quick. Yeah, there was a report on Linux market share passing 4%. I guess anything up is good. Maybe the use of Chromebooks has something to do with that. Yeah, maybe. Utah, Nevada rarely gets severe. Don't they get like downpours, flooding sometimes? I think. All right. So in Ancient Aliens, the United States was told to never come back to specifically the dark side of the moon. Hence is why we've never gone back. Okay. Whistleblowers share they saw an entire civilization on the dark side. I have heard something like that. But now we're landing like robots on the moon. You know, in fact, we landed one robot, spacecraft, no people on the moon. And didn't one of the legs collapse on the moon? There's a woman on YouTube does science stuff. She's an actress of all things, and then does YouTube videos on science stuff. You may want to check her out. I believe her name is Marion Kerr. She's been on TV shows like Criminal Minds and stuff like that, but she does science videos. And yeah, she said the NASA thing landed on the moon, but one of the legs broke on landing. And I wrote, it wasn't built by Boeing, was it? Boeing, what is up with Boeing? My goodness. Wheels collapsing, pieces of the wings falling off. I mean, doors flying. They become the GM of the skies. I'm not trying to be funny, but man, what is up with Boeing? God. You know, nowadays when you book a flight online, there's a filter to the left that you can choose which airplane manufacturer to choose, and you have a choice to not choose Boeing. That's how bad it's gone. I wouldn't fly Boeing now if I had a choice. Wow. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, Rossi, the when they travel to these other places around the world, like in Peru, the Nazca lines, Puma Pintu, something like that, Mexico, places that I'll never go to. That's where it gets interesting to watch Ancient Aliens. Just it's almost like a travel channel, you know. So. All right. We've been on over an hour, but I'll stick around a little bit longer if you guys want to. Just a little bit longer, then we'll wrap it up. Checking my messages here. Somebody doesn't like Linux because Linux for music is garbage. Video editing is ropey and is a toss-up for gaming. For gaming, it might be a toss-up. I won't mention this person who commented. I'm just looking at my phone here. This is the one on Zorn OS. I did a quick look at Zorn OS 17.1. I called it like a fine wine for Windows users, but this person doesn't like Linux in general. Okay, I mean, for gaming, yeah, stick with Windows. That's simple. For video editing, should be okay for me. I don't really do a lot in music editing. But generally speaking, for multimedia, you probably want to stick with Windows or Mac, to be fair. Pipewire improves audio on Linux. Okay, I have heard of it, yeah. Does the latest Ubuntu use Pipewire? I don't know. System 76 says Cosmic Desktop is late but on schedule. Okay. 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 Very good. Linux is what you make it for. As for gaming, it's like any other PC use what works. Yeah, Linux gaming is awesome with many games, even Windows, but Windows still has its place for specific titles. Yeah, I would say so, Joe. Yeah. Is it possible to get DaVinci Resolve to actually work on Linux Mint? I don't know. Maybe using the emulator Wine. But I think, Joe, you make a point. If it's for specific titles or for specific software, it's probably best to use that in Windows. If it's for specific software to the hardware to match, to be safe, I would probably stick with Windows. I use Kdenlive for editing in Linux. It seems just as fast or just as slow depending on your PC, on your CPU. But to me, Kdenlive is just as productive as anything else that's available in Windows or Mac. In my test and in my opinion, I found yeah, Kdenlive is fine. Yeah. From what I've tested. In fact, there's Kdenlive for Windows too. That seems okay. But I have not used DaVinci Resolve. Have I? I don't think so. I just had no reason to. Bottles Flatpak, Joseph. Late but on schedule. Late on schedule. Yes, it's on schedule. The fact that it's late, Joe. I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm not even drinking any wine tonight. It's been a long day. I've been up early. Anyway, cheers. Bottles is a GTK front end for wine. Okay. Yeah, wine has never worked for me. Never. So I gave up on it. But if it works, do it. But generally speaking, just like if I had a Mac, if there are specific Mac software things I got to use or specific Windows, I'll just use Windows. You know, I don't use Windows that much anymore. Maybe 20% now because I don't have to. But for stuff like this, live streaming, I just boot into Linux. Although Windows will work fine. Windows 11, not 10. But Linux Mint, Linux does the job for me. You're running 6611 advanced hardware support with MX. Allows upscaling. Which boosted gaming, FPS, and performance. Very good. Okay, that'll work, Joe. Yeah, I just think for Linux newbies who don't get into this, I think it would be safe to say if you're into gaming, great. And you know nothing about Linux, stick with Windows. Because if you try to do gaming in Linux, brand new, and you don't know what you're doing, and it doesn't work out, that Windows user may be inclined to say that Linux sucks. Now that would not be a fair statement. That's why I tend to say, just to be safe, if you love gaming, just stick to Windows. If you want to try anything else, Linux is there. And they'll probably have a better experience with it. Now, when you become more experienced, not a noob anymore, go for it. Yeah, but that would be my advice. I think the last PC game I played on Windows was not Need for Speed, something like, I can't think of it now. It's like Need for Speed, but that's not it. Anyway, it was a car racing game for Windows. So for Linux, I've enjoyed playing Tux Racer. Joe says I have to agree there, Carm. Starting out is not a good idea. Yeah, Linux on a second PC is the way to go. Gradually work into it. Yes, but you need to dedicate time to it. Yeah, I just about everything I've learned with some help from you guys has been self-taught over the years. You have to give it time. You have to expect, not so much now, expect things to break. Expect to learn how to fix things on your own, although not as much anymore. A lot has changed since 2006, obviously, for both Windows and Linux, of course. I think it's much, much easier today, starting off today in Linux, than when I did back in 06. There's a lot more resources out there, such, well, as myself or other YouTubers. I started the channel in 2010 because I wasn't happy with the information out there on YouTube. You know, I didn't want a Linux user telling me that Linux is the best. I wanted a Windows user to tell me that Linux is the best or has the potential to be the best. Nobody was doing it, so I did it, kind of. But yeah, Joe, you have to gradually start out. Yeah. And I think today with your Linux Mints of the world and Zorin OSs and of course the Chromebooks, which are maintenance free, are awesome. If people try those and still say Linux sucks, well, at least you tried it and it's not for you. But I think there's less of a chance of that with those specific systems, you know. Yeah. Tim says, thank goodness I'm not a gamer. Okay, fair enough. Super Tux, yeah. Waiting for the Tux Racer multiplayer stream. Yeah, I think I mentioned that. Oh God, was that during the pandemic, Joe? I think I may have mentioned, we talked about. God, it's been so long. I wouldn't mind doing that one of these weekends just to see if it'll. I have to. Do I even have it on this one? I don't think I have it on this. This was had to reinstall this. A new SS. I don't think I have Tux card on this one. I'll have to install it. I don't. I'll have to install it, run it. I think I should be okay with the Core i7 and 16 gigs of RAM for that. Yeah, I'll have to install it, try it out, and maybe one of these nights we'll have a Tux Racer night. Personally, I firmly believe that you need the desire and at least a year on Linux to really give it a fair shot. Yes, when I started in 06, it wasn't until, realistically, it wasn't until probably when I started the channel in 2010 that I thought Linux had a shot to be more than what I saw. Although I kind of saw the potential back in 06, very little potential. About Linux. So I did mention it back in 2020. Yeah, it had to be the start of the pandemic. Then, of course, the world went to crapola. But thanks for reminding me, Joe. Yeah, I think that'll be a fun night. Yeah, now that we're back to normal. And actually, I got a thing from Comcast. I got an email. Hey, for being such a loyal customer and paying us more money, we've increased your speeds. Not that I ever had a problem with speeds. I had a problem with dineros. Anyway. On your desktop, Rossi asks, am I using Microsoft Office Online or a Linux alternative? I think in Chromebook you can do the Microsoft Office Online. Honestly though, I don't really use Microsoft Office. I've had no need for it. There's the LibreOffice suite when I have to do something somewhat similar to that, Rossi, but yeah, there's LibreOffice. There's I have a blank. There's something else, Rossi, but there are Linux alternatives, and I believe with Chromebook you can do the Microsoft Office also. Yeah, Joe says you have to be fed up enough with Windows to give Linux a look for many. Yeah, I never got really that fed up with Windows for me to drop it completely. Even when Windows 10 had its problems in the beginning with the forced upgrades, which was just stupid. But even then, I was never fed up enough to drop Windows completely. I may have come close, but never fed up enough. When Windows 11 came along, I thought, well, I don't know. But then I installed it on multiple machines, 10 years old, and it works. I'm like, dang. So, but yeah, you would have to be pretty fed up to drop Windows and not need it. Only Office. That's it. Yes. LibreOffice release version 24. Okay, yeah, like I said, I don't use it that much. But I have it installed on Linux Mint. It's by default. But yeah, I think LibreOffice, for what it's worth, is okay. You know, can it fully replace Microsoft Office? I don't know. Can it? So Joseph says eventually Microsoft will make it impossible to install Windows 11 on older computers. I did hear about that. I don't know. There's always going to be a workaround, it seems. Yeah. Joe, you locked down Windows. I do not allow updates until I am ready. Okay. Block some apps like QuickBooks from accessing the internet to force me a subscription. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I've somewhat modified my Windows 11 installs. So far, it has not been a problem. Windows 11 seems to be more streamlined and faster than Windows 10, especially on older machines, which, like I said, was a very pleasant surprise. I was not expecting it. But as long as it works, I'll keep using Windows 11. And my new ThinkPad, my new used ThinkPad I bought is Windows 11 ready. It seems okay. Windows 12 may be subscription based. I think I've heard rumors about that. I don't think Windows will pull the trigger on that, Joseph. Yeah, I just don't see that. Yeah, because that'll tick off a lot of people. And I don't think Microsoft wants to lose customers. They want to gain customers, right? Just a guess. Yeah, Joe, you have to know what you are doing to alter the registry. I believe there are fairly safe programs that you can download to alter the registry. Not recommended. You can bork Windows. I'm perfectly fine doing some minor alterations without registry tinkering. Again, I don't use Windows as much as I used to, so I'm perfectly fine with it. Rossi asks, am I familiar with the Android boxes like NVIDIA Shield, for example, install various codies to rid ourselves of cable TVs? I am not familiar with that, Rossi, no. Here where I live, I have Comcast cable, mainly because of the internet. I've been waiting for AT&T fiber optic service to come in for the last 4 years. It's not here yet. Don't know if it'll ever come. So to do shows like this and stream without buffering, this is not going to work with DSL. At least I don't think so. You need cable internet or high-speed fiber. And I did see something where fiber is available. New customers can sign up for a year or two for $35 a month. Now, it may not be the highest speed, but I think it would be faster than DSL, but it's just not available. I'm forced to use Comcast internet, which is over $100 a month. It's a lot. Does it work? 100%. Is it reliable? 100%. When I call customer service, have they been friendly? 100%. Do they speak English? 100%. Is it worth over $100 a month? I guess it has to be, because I don't have an alternative. If I switch to AT&T DSL, these shows are gone. Anyway, that's where we're at. So, and then I got the cable TV package to watch shows like Ancient Aliens on demand, which is a convenience. I will give it that. But yeah, I cannot rid myself of cable TV. My friends have retired. They have direct TV with DSL, but they don't do this. They don't do gaming, and it works for them. They pay less. For them, it's perfect. They have no interest in this YouTube or streaming podcasts or live shows, so for them, it's perfect. Tim says this Windows talk is kryptonite to me. Well, this is an open chat. Try to be fair. You know, I'm not streaming from Windows tonight, Tim, to make you feel better. I'm streaming from Linux Mint. I might do Windows next time. I mean, I have to update Windows sometime for the security patches, right? Anyway. Linux save me. Yes. Okay. Let's get out of that. Tim says YouTube TV is really good. Okay. Yeah, it just is if I wanted to subscribe to everything, then my bill would practically double. And the only extra thing I have is Paramount Plus, all because of Halo TV and Star Trek. Is it worth $6 a month? Probably. Yeah. You know, but that's it. That's as far as I go for the extra stuff. You know. Now, if I had fiber AT&T for $35, $40 a month, then I would have the budget for the other stuff. But I just can't see myself doing that. All right. A few more minutes. It's almost 10. Then we'll wrap it up. I think I got, okay. Rossi asks, how is it that your headset mic is so clear and you see all these podcasters with elaborate mics? This is clear. I've been using this one since pre-pandemic, I think. Or maybe it started the pandemic, Rossi. I got lucky with this one. This setup with the little USB adapter 4 years ago. 5 years ago, plugging it into my USB 3.0 port. This setup, I bought an extension cable, I think was $30-$40 total. That's it. I think it's perfectly fine. I have more control, like when I turn my head. I have this Fifine mic here, you know, that works. And this is okay, like if I don't want to wear this. This was less than 100. Now this is okay, but I have to keep my mouth towards it. If I move away, I got to move back where this follows me. Somebody mentioned I look like an air traffic controller. Flight 19, clear runway 4, ready for takeoff. Okay, so I look like I should be working for the air traffic controllers, but it just works, Tim. Yeah, it just works. So, are expensive mics better? Generally, I would say so. In general, yeah. Are they really necessary? If you're a singer, 100%. You have to. For this, they're nice to have. Like this one's nicer. This mic is nicer. That's a non-headset, and it is nice. But I said, think something like this is fine. Really, I think nowadays you can get a nice setup. You should be able to find a nice setup total to get started for $100 or less. If you want to up your game, you're probably looking $250. Beyond that, unless you're a singer, I don't think it's necessary beyond $250 for a mic setup with the stand, or even like a wireless mic. Wireless mics are going to be more money, but yeah. Steve is in the house. Welcome, Steve. Mr. OBS Studio Master. How are you? Jedi Master OBS. Jedi OBS Master. Welcome. But yeah, this microphone has held up very well. I'm going to turn off my phone. I don't need any more notifications for tonight. Joe says mic setup, yours was around 50. Yeah, I think for something like that, you know, these here on a stand, just remember that you have your mouth aiming towards this, especially on a cheap one. If it's a good omnidirectional, I guess it doesn't matter. For something like this, they're great, but you got to be pointed at it, or else the audience is just going to turn you off. Something what I'm wearing, again, it follows me. It's great. Very convenient. I think the quality, is it like Hollywood quality? No. Is it good? I think so. Yeah. So, you know. Steve says you're a good podmaster. Yes. You're an excellent Gatorade podmaster. I haven't tried Gatorade pods. I bought the powdered stuff that you put in the Yetis or whatever. Those are okay. That's okay. Podmaster. Mom will be 84 in May. Tim, God bless. Steve says, I am the podmaster. Well, I've been blessed with the radio voice, so I've been told, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah. I think that's helped me make friends by having that voice and not shouting at you guys or screaming at you guys, you know. Face for radio. Yeah, that's one way to describe it. Face for radio, yeah. Rossi says, thanks for your platform. You give us Linux enthusiasts a place to fellowship. Yeah. Probably. I don't know how many former New Yorker, Italian guys do what I do. I enjoy trying different things. That's why I'm still here. I enjoy making friends, learning different things, trying out different things. Sort of a family. It's been quite a journey, and happy to be here, Rossi. And thank you for sticking along. One of these days I'll do live from Florida or live from Italy or something. I'll go to Calabria, Sicily. It's the live Linux show, and then the guy cooking the pastrami sandwich. What is a Linux? I don't understand the Linux. You put that on your sandwich? What is a Linux? Is that for the pasta, for the meatball? I don't understand the Linux. Where are you from? You know Italian. I could see that happening. I'm like, oh, but then I go, oh, man. I was computer, sir, computer. Ah, computer, sì, un computer, bellissimo. We are great friends, Joe, yes. As are many in the chat here. Vision of being a sister. What is a Linux? I don't understand the Linux. As our singer Slim Man would say, she's so nice. I wish I lived closer to Cali. Slim is back full speed doing albums, new songs. He's doing concerts there in California. Palm Beach. Well, not Palm Beach. Palm Springs. I just wish I would live closer. It's just too far a drive from Florida. I mean, from that and from Ohio where I live. But he's been busy. If you haven't already, check out Slim Man, an Italian singer. Well, he's Italian, but he sings American songs. So he was great having on the show. Another great human being who has no clue about Linux. He thought Ubuntu was like a power drink, like Red Bull. Yeah, have me another Ubuntu. Forget the Red Bull. Anyway, he uses Mac because he's a singer. There we go. Higher quality mics. He uses the Mac stuff for his recordings. Completely understandable. Anyway. Yeah. Tim, I have met friends all over the world. I mean, all over the world. Australia, people from Russia have popped in. Denmark, Argentina, Canada. Yeah, to be fair, probably the Windows and Apple folks have their friends around the world too. I'm not going to bash them. No bashing here, But maybe Linux might be the best. Maybe. Oh. Maybe one night I'll do a Windows only show. Just to see who pops in. I'll probably hear crickets. I don't know. Can't do a Mac show. I don't have a Mac. But there's a lot of Mac users out there. Listening to my dad's song, God, I have to crank this up a notch. God Guide Us. You've heard this before. Beautiful song. Anyway. Not like Linux, Tim? Yeah, you may be right. Rossi, you're going to try social experiment, run Mac OS in a virtual machine on Manjaro to see if the Apple Store will give you a short tutorial on Mac OS basics. That's different. Yeah. Okay, is there anything else before we wrap this up? I've been on an hour and 40 minutes already. Time flies when you're having fun. So is there anything else before we wrap it up? I'm glad you guys joined in for tonight. Man, snow Monday, Tuesday. Thursday sunny. Okay. Man, but cold. Lows in the 20s. I want summer. I want to go to the pool. Oh well. Suggestion, can you give us a thumbnail when you go live? Oh, you mean like a heads up? Yeah, I mean, if I remember, next time I plan to go live, I'll try to give you a heads up, Rossi, sure. Yeah. I've been doing this lately. I've been doing these at random during the day and mornings to try and have people in different time zones who never have a chance to come in and say hello. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. They have different work schedule, lives, and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe one of these weekends when I plan to go on a not random time, I could do that. Give you, schedule it on the YouTube Studio app and then let you know. Yeah, Tim, and happy Easter. Yes. Tim says just subscribe, sure, if you haven't already. Yeah. And click the bell too. That'll help too when I jump on at random. But see, before the pandemic, I would schedule these almost every week. I had a set schedule. Schedule it, you would see that the thumbnail. Then the pandemic hit, you know. Now that we're back to normal, hopefully, post-pandemic. But yeah. I also do private chats. I generally send out the emails to those who support the channel, whether it's PayPal or Patreon, just as a thank you. I do those at random too. I just send out a mass email. You know, you don't have to give your real name or show your face if you don't want to. But I do those random times too. I send out an email to all of those who support the channel just as a thank you. We could talk about whatever you want. It's not live. It is just what I said. It is a private chat. So those are fun to do also. Again, usually on the weekends, Friday or Saturday nights. I did 1 or 2 Sundays, I think. But sometimes I'll do the private chats that's not live on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up twice, sure. Vote early and vote often. All right, let me close that out. I use Rhythmbox to play the music, a great app for Linux. Never let me down. Tim says, Toss, it was great being on tonight with you and everyone made my day. Yeah, this was nice. I'm glad I jumped on. Like I said, I kind of had other plans with a friend of mine to meet, but he kind of changed his plans, which was an advantage for me. So that's why I jump on tonight. Would love to see my desktop configuration at my discretion. Yeah, I think I've shown it before. Yeah, one of these nights I will. I'll show it. I don't have a problem. I don't have anything secretive on the desktop. It's pretty basic stuff, but I can show you one of these times I go live, Rossi. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Sure. You know, again, it's either you know, with me, it's either Chromebooks, Chrome OS. I think I've shown that before. It's going to be that. Right now I have Linux Mint Mate, Linux Mint XFCE, ever so slightly modified. And then Windows 11. The Windows 11, even if you could customize it, I just don't. I just like to leave it the way it is and not mess with it because it just works. Same thing with the Chromebook. I don't like to customize. You really can't that much in a Chromebook, but that's okay. But yeah, the only somewhat tweaking I do is with Linux Mint. Yeah. I do have MX Linux installed on my ThinkPads, but those are older machines, outdated processors, 32-bit. I'm not going to even try to go live with those. I think it's going to buffer and sputter, you know. But the 2 desktops I have, or 3 now, older ones, work very well with Linux Mint. All right. Anything else? One final time. Last call for questions or comments, and then we'll wrap it up. Because I'm going to go to Betty Bye. Steve, are you still going live tomorrow morning? Yeah. Joe, some people dual boot. I do that too. I have 2 separate drives, 2 separate SSDs. You are, Steve? Okay. On my desktops, Rossi, I don't do a lot of heavy theming or configurations or tweaking. Part of it because I really have no inclination to this. The second part is I don't want to scare away any new potential Linux users. I like to keep it simple, So yeah, two separate drives because now the prices of SSDs, even the cheapest SSD is fast enough for Linux and Windows, Joe, right? Yeah, two separate drives are the way to go. There's really no need to dual boot, even though I do on one machine. Two OSs on one drive, but it's not my main machine. Two drives, inexpensive SSDs is the way to go. I think 256 gigs of storage should be plenty for most people, my guess. All right, Tim. Yeah, I'm going to be jumping off here shortly, so great to have you on. But Steve says 5 extra dives. Yeah, I wouldn't mind 5 extra dives in the pool. You can game on a potato using GeForce Now, which is web-based. Okay, very good. I know you meant drive, Steve. I know. Just throwing in some laughter. Let's see. I started off this live show with the joke, but what happened to the Jedi Knight when he ate the toad? He got star warts. I thought it was clever when I heard it. Hey, it's a family show. What do you want? Steve says, need another beer. Go to it. I'm not that much of a beer drinker, but I bought something new. Heineken Silver. It's okay. I still prefer wine, but Heineken Silver is okay for a beer. I bought a 12-pack. I don't know why. I'm going to give a couple to my friends who are retired up the block here. Joey has 5 SSDs. Hope you go see a doctor for that. But a bump. 2 are NVMEs. Yeah, I think my ThinkPad I bought has an NVMe. And I think NVMEs are a little faster than SSDs, Joe, if I read correctly. 12 terabytes total. Okay. Yeah, I think my ThinkPad has an NVMe in it, which is why it flies for a 5-year-old machine. So I don't need 12 terabytes myself, and if you're going to save a lot of games, yeah. But I do not. Yeah, I think these drives here are 480 gigabyte drives. And they're perfectly fine. All right, I think we'll wrap it up for tonight, my friends. It's great to have you here as always, but I think I'm ready for bed. Rossi says, I watched a food show about Italian families, and the entire day was centered around eating dusk till dawn. Okay. NVMEs are mega fast. Yes, they are. All right, Steve, take care. Your main Linux NVMe is 7700 MB. Okay. Yeah, and the prices of those aren't even too bad either, Joe, if I recall right. But for me, standard SSDs are good enough. So, okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Been on for almost 2 hours, an hour and 52 minutes approximately. So this was fun. We'll do it again. And you guys know how to reach me. So for this one, I'll just say arrivederci, have a good night, or as Steve would say, have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good night, wherever you are. And enjoy your beer. Ciao.